What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Today, we've got plenty to talk about. Really, a lot of it's focused on the Mercato, a lot of it in the midfield, but as well as some other players. We're going to say big hellos for big goodbyes, or at the same time, is Juventus able to balance the books and find a way to make all parties happy? Stick with us. We'll fill you in now. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today it's Monday, February 28th, 2022, and of course I have your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news that you care about each and every day, and try to get you in and out as quickly as possible with a bite-sized portion to really get you going on what exactly is going on in rumbling when it comes to Juventus, the team, the squad, injuries, and of course the Mercato. First up, before we do that though, let's go ahead and make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos, and then we'll get about our day right now. Let's get into it. All right, the very first news story of the day, of course, is a growing news story trend. I've been, let's just say this news story, I think I've tried to be a little bit more subdued given my personal biases. We'll say that, right? All right, first up, it's Gazzetta dello Sport, who is reporting that Zaniolo is now Juve's top target for the summer and will not be renewing with Roma anytime soon. Talks with his entourage have already taken place, with talks about a new Roma contract being on hold. All right, let's just get into it the way I'm gonna go at it. I'm gonna go about it. Let's just do the biased way, right? Here's the thing: if you've watched the channel, if you know anything about the channel, I am in no way hiding that I am an Italian show when it comes to players that are Italian that I like, that I don't think will also be big time for the Italian national team. That going along with right now, we need to talk about basically Zaniolo and his situation. Obviously, he's got injury issues. He's not always healthy. He's not always good to go. That's a problem, unfortunately. But then there's part B, which has been he hasn't always shined when it comes to the Italian national team, and that's setup. Either he's been injured, or it's been maybe potentially some personality issues with Mancini to not keep him up there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's a similar situation that Moise Kean had when they two were trying to work into the squad, and for some reason they and Mancini don't seem to work out. I don't know if they're not being utilized properly. It's hard to say that when overall Mancini's out here getting Juventus back, or not Juventus, getting Italy back to the forefront of where they should be, winning the Euros. Hopefully we'll be safe this coming March. Well, this month. I can combine month and March, but hopefully we are in a better place, confirmed for the World Cup, and then hopefully we'll see how they perform in there. Anyway, but as it stands overall, knowing that Zaniolo is a huge Juventino since childhood, he grew up loving Juventus. He's been wanting to go to Juventus for a while. It didn't seem possible just because Roma didn't want to sell him before. They wanted exorbitant wages. We were looking at like 70, 80 million euros before. Now it's a little bit different. Obviously, there are those injury issues that we have to worry about, but at the same time, one of the things that I will say personally, and that's what this is. This is a fan channel. This isn't just a news reporting channel. It's a fan channel. Me, personally, will be over the moon excited to have Zaniolo playing for Juventus, and hopefully that gets done in the summer for me. For me, I hope that it gets done. I know a lot of you will disagree with me. A lot of you have your pauses when it comes to him. Another thing to go along with that, I don't know if I believe there's some reports out there that have been saying that obviously Dybala, bringing in Zaniolo as a replacement for Dybala. That just, I guess you're getting one injured player for another injured player. I guess that's one way you can go about it. But the way, to me, their playing style, none of that really seems to equate for me. I don't think that they're the same player at all. So I don't think really bringing him in would nix one player out. But I could be wrong. We'll see. All right, let's continue on. The next story of the day, we're talking about Ligt, and Tutto Sports reporting saying that Juventus are working to extend Ligt's contract until 2025. The club sees it as a priority. So as it stands right now, Juventus right now, they should see it as a priority. If it comes to the players that you're going to build this team around, it's going to be A, Dusan Vlahovic, B, really 1A and 1B. Really, they're the same. They're equal. When I'm saying this is in the Matthias de Ligt, right there with them. You got him in the defense, got him in there, and then really you got what you got to focus on in this Mercato, and you don't want to have to focus on replacing Ligt in this upcoming Mercato. I would hope not, at least. Right now, you should need to be able to focus on bringing that big-time midfielder in there. Whether it's, I know some people may disagree when it comes to Zaniolo in that situation, whether it's Pogba, whether it's whoever it is, we'll see how it pans out. But as it stands right now, yeah, it should be our priority, and it's good to see that they're intent to keep Ligt. And hopefully, I think Ligt seems to be pretty happy with the club currently. All right, let's move on to the next story, and that's Fabrizio Romano, who's talking about Pogba. We got to talk about him since I've mentioned him like 3 times already, saying that the relationship between Pogba and Juventus is still fantastic. He loves the club, Italy, the city, and teammates. For Pogba, Juve is always something special, but he has a big salary, so it's not going to be easy to sign him. And this is going to be the interesting thing to keep an eye on right now. How exactly are they? Are these associated? Is it Zaniolo or Pogba, or is it Zaniolo, Pogba, or fill in the blank, or is it Juve want Zaniolo? They're going to get Zaniolo, and then they could get Pogba, or they could get like De Jong. They could get whatever, yada yada. We keep going on the line. I threw in De Jong. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen with him. I think really he probably won't fit in because after you got in Zakaria, I don't really see that happening. But I just threw in a name. That's a bigger name, right? So we'll see how that pans out. We'll see how much. But also, like I said, you're going to get him on a free because it's the summer. But at the same time, can Juventus pay those wages? Can they pay you? And you also know Arriva Bene and Cherubini right now do not want to pay exorbitant wages. So we'll see what happens. What are your thoughts? Do you think Pogba should come back? I know there's some people right here that are not thinking that Pogba, they think the retread thing should not be done. I don't know if I fully agree. To me, you're getting Pogba. You're getting the name. You're getting, a top-tier player in the midfield. To me, I think that can only do positive things for Juventus. But I can't understand not wanting to spend extra money, especially when you're already spending money to pay for it. Rabiot. All right, let's continue on. And this goes along with what I've been saying. And this is Mirko De Natale reporting on Dybala's situation currently, saying that the month of March will be crucial for Paulo Dybala's renewal. As of today, the meeting between his entourage and Juve has not been scheduled. In the meantime, the player is in good shape and aims to return on Wednesday night against Fiorentina. I will hold my belief. I will suspend my belief. I will suspend my commentary on the shape that Dybala is in until I see him playing. I don't know. I mean, one, if it was a knock, if it was whatever situation, then you should have been out there playing. Obviously, Juve won against Empoli, but in the important matches, you need to be playing. And you were not there for Villarreal, so that's a frustrating notion and moment there. But we'll see how that ends up panning out. Right now, the one thing that's really frustrating, and I know you guys are all frustrated at this point, but the fact that the meeting should have happened at the beginning of February, and now they're pushed back to the end. They were pushed back to the end of February, and now we're looking at March. And will they even get scheduled for March? Or are we going to be looking at April and then maybe May down the line? And then the further it gets out, the less likely I think he's going to stay at Juventus. And then we've got a whole another can of worms, unless people think. Again, like I said at the beginning of this video, unless they think that Zaniolo is that replacement for Dybala, then in that circumstance, it would kind of make sense that, okay, you bring him in, Dybala's out. You're not as worried about that replacement for the 60 million euro player. Zaniolo, when he's good, when he's clicking, he's great. But I got to be honest, and I got to be, I got to be level-headed when it comes to this. He has not been the Zaniolo that I, would hope him to be recently playing for. Either is that him personally, or is that Roma, is it Mourinho and the way they've been utilizing him? I don't know. All right. We'll see how this pans out when it comes to Dybala. I'm sure you guys have already tuned out because I talked about him. So let's move on to the next one, and let's talk about another positive story, which is Zakaria and his injury. Juventus have reported, or not reported, but just told you that the instrumental examinations that Zakaria underwent this morning at J Medical showed a low-grade injury of the tendon of the long abductor muscle of the left thigh. Stopped for 20 days. So yeah, this ain't good news. This is bad news. Juventus, basically, we had estimated, or, all those around it, not Juventus, but over those around it, knowing his injury, had estimated about a 2-week removal. Now that brings it to about 3 weeks. My question is, does a 20-day stop mean that includes healing for 2 weeks and then, whatever, for like a week or so, getting back into training, doing whatever? Or does that mean 20 days, no activity, full healing, and then after that you have another time period, another stop? So I mean, to me, it's basically, I feel like we won't see him for the month of March. That's the way that I kind of sit with that right now. Sorry if you're watching. I was a little on screen producing. I was fighting a sneeze. So there we go. We're good to go. All right, let's continue on. Let's go with Gazzetta dello Sport, who's talking about Alvaro Morata and his current situation when it comes to the Mercato that's upcoming up, saying that Juventus are willing to keep Morata, but are not open to spending more than 20 million euros, including bonuses. So, the number that we've been given, a friendly estimate, was about 15 million euros. Now it looks like 20, I guess 20 if that includes any kind of bonuses for him and Atletico Madrid in the purchase. I think the number 20, Rob, probably should be more feasible and should make Atletico Madrid more open to accepting this offer. We'll see how it pans out, because right now what we need to look at is what other teams maybe are interested in him. Does Barcelona come back into the table? Are they interested in where they pay a little bit more money than Juventus is willing to pay? At this point, though, I think with the issues going on with Dybala's injury, with whatever, at the same time, I think it would behoove Juventus, if they're able to get this deal done, to be able to keep Morata for another season. He seems more integral to the development and makeup of the squad moving forward than I expected a month ago, or 2 months ago, or whatever it was, before the winter mercato started. I thought he was done. I thought he was gone. I thought he was going to Barcelona, and now it looks like he could still have a solid future here at Juventus, maybe as a reserve role. All right. And then we got to talk about this one is kind of I'm not going to say it's surprising, but Nico Schieda's over here talking about Perin looking to maybe stay with the club, and saying that Allegri really likes Perin and the management could extend his contract with the reduction in salary. Now at about 2.5 million euros, the ball is in Perin's court. Well, I guess this is more Juventus sided than it is Perin. I think Perin overall has been pretty clear for the last couple of years of what he wanted to do before he even came back to Juventus and has been playing this season. He said, my goal is to start somewhere so that way I get an opportunity. It can be a lower level club, a Genoa, whatever have you, anything of that level. I guess obviously staying in Serie A. Genoa are not going to probably stay in Serie A, but at the same time, staying in one of these lower level clubs so that way I can get my opportunity to play and work my way into the Italian national squad. That's like his dream. That's his goal. And to me, honestly, obviously you're speaking my language, and I can respect that, because that's how I got here as a fan. That's how I got here to Juventus, was my fanhood with the Italian national team first, growing up in America. That's how that's my love or whatever affair when it came to Juventus was developed. They said Del Piero and of course Buffon, and then you go on from there. So it's an admirable thing. I don't mind him. I don't mind him doing that. The reason I'm fumbling over my words and trying to get to this point is just to say, we'll see if Perin's actually going to be open to remaining with the club and staying as a second keeper overall, because he has the option now to go and basically do whatever he wants following this season. All right, and then the final story of the day really is about another option at center back for Juventus, and that's Repubblica talking about, of course, Romagnoli. Juventus are still interested in Romagnoli. However, Lazio are leading the race to bring him in. So in this instance, for some reason, Lazio seems more likely to bring him in. I know Romagnoli is not nearly the quality of the center back position that you're getting, obviously, with Ligt, with Chiellini, with Bonucci, whatever have you. But at the same time, bringing him in may not be a terrible option, just given the factor of how many injuries this part of the squad has sustained recently, and how you end up playing Danilo and Alexandro for portions at center back recently. I don't think that would be a bad move if you can get him for cheap, over the summer. And obviously, I think maybe he'd be. I would imagine. Even though Lazio lead the race right now, that he'd be more interested in going to a Juventus who are playing in Champions League than going to play for a second-tier team. No offense to Lazio fans. And I actually have, I don't want to say I have a soft spot for Lazio, but I'm more open to Lazio, more welcoming of Lazio than I am to a lot of the other squads playing in the Serie A, if that makes sense. But at the same time, it's a second-tier team. why wouldn't you go to Juventus that are playing in Champions League, right? So we'll see. Maybe it is for money. Maybe it's just a money situation and a money issue. But I imagine a lot of these guys want to play, especially if you're getting older in your final days, or the final years of your career, or whatever have you. That would be a situation you want to go to. So we'll see. We'll monitor that as it goes. But as it stands right now, Romagnoli still, or Juventus still has interest in him, but Lazio seems to be leading the way for that. All right. So let me know what you guys think. That's all the news that I really have for you today. Let me know your thoughts on these. These are a lot of Mercato-based ones. So, like, are we looking at potentially Zaniolo and Pogba coming in for Ligt and maybe, or not, not for, Ligt's going to stay. He's going to stay, right? But then maybe for Morata and Dybala to end up heading out, that'd be a tough goodbye for a good hello, but we'll see exactly how this ends up panning out in the coming months. Of course, we still have a lot of football to play down the way to secure a Champions League berth in the top 4. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, please do hit that like button, as it really helps our channel grow. It's free. Just hit that like. Just hit it real quick. I'm going to pause real quick. Just do it. All right. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for hitting that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Make sure you follow Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram at Bianconeri Zone, and follow myself if you feel so inclined at Justin Sofro on Twitter. We'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.